like it never once.
All right, there you go.
Greetings.
Hello. All right, so how you doing, man?
Good. How's it going?
Oh, it's going fine. Just fighting this coof bullshit. Every time I eat, I feel like I'm gonna puke, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, that happens when you get the flu.
Right.
But anyway, consult your doctors.
Yep. I am not a medical professional in any way, shape, or form.
Nope.
So,
anyway,
all right. So
we're here to bullshit.
Yeah, we're here to bullshit. There's a couple of brothers bullshitting about stuff. So what games you been playing? Let's start off with that. What games you been playing?
I have been forcing myself to try and complete one playthrough of Cyberpunk.
And how's that going?
Honestly, I can play about 45 minutes a night, and then I'm like, ugh.
Right, dude? Yeah, that game gets old real quick. Easy.
Well, it got a little more fun once I got the mantis blades and the double jump stuff. I really enjoy just wrecking people with that. But like, I do that, and I've been doing that in other games for decades. So.
Right? Have you gotten the ground pound thing yet, where you're in the air and you hit the button and it?
No, I spend way too much. No, I spend too much time fucking with the cops. I like taking my car and like whipping it around a corner and sandwiching up against theirs and then driving off again. Speaking of course that this is a video game and not in real life and no former inciting violence. Anyway.
Dude, have you seen how they just kind of appear like 100 feet behind you? Yeah. Just kind of appear out of nowhere.
Yeah. Like one time I accidentally killed a civilian. And then, like, I'm sitting there looting all the bad guys that I had murked. And the next thing I know, I'm getting shot. And I turn around and I'm like, whoa, there's nobody there. I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
And then I get shot again and I look up and there's a drone. And I'm like, where did you come from? And then like, I try running away from the drone. And then, like, the cops, like, random spawn. They're like,
yep. Yeah, when you're driving super fast in a car or something, flying down the highway, and they're just randomly popping up, like right next to you, slamming into your car and shit.
I've gotten some decent glitches I should have recorded out of that, like flipping into walls and the ground and stuff. Like, I'm glad that they haven't fixed anything yet, so I can still understand why people hated it in the first place.
Didn't you say you had a really bad texture issue with it? One of those times you were playing?
Yeah, every third to fifth character that I would kill would physics out and just stretch across the entire freaking zone.
But not like in an Oblivion cool way, right?
No, not in a cool way where like, you're like looking at it and you can still see it and stuff. It would literally sharp angles and then be the body texture of whatever armor they're wearing stretched out across the entire level. And when you tried to walk, it had to load their entire body and the level, so it would be like and then it would like it was ridiculous. So every time that happens I have to reload the game, and then like when you reload the game it still registers that it's glitching, but it's not, so it goes and the body bounces a couple times like when it goes back to normal.
That's awesome.
It's pretty entertaining when you get into certain things, but overall, I mean, I'm struggling to find things to keep me interested. I was expecting more bad guys, like higher density of bad guys in this game.
Yeah, for being like a super populated mega city, it's very empty.
Yeah. I'm like, how many people supposedly live here? I mean, you're in Watts, whatever, that starting area. And it's like the low income area, I guess, or something like that. And it would be way more populated than it is, especially in a transhumanist future.
Right.
It'd be like 3 million people right there.
Like there's been times where I've just been like following somebody and you'll just turn around for a second because something distracts you. And then you'll turn back and everything that was in front of you before is gone. It's just an empty fucking street.
Dude, I've had that happen to where when I turned back around, the bodies were in different positions and the loot that was on them was different.
Wow, that's like a complete
Yeah, like
reload of the area just right
yeah,
behind you.
like you know how the little X's are colored, like green or blue or orange or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I'd turn around, and on the mini map, everything would change colors. And then when I turn back around, I'd be like, "Oh, great! It dropped the rarity level. That's new."
Wow, that's bullshit. That's almost like Anthem. Oh my god.
Yeah.
When that game first came out with it was just dropping greens and whites all the time. Dude, the industry's in a bad fucking place right now. And I really do feel what's that?
If they'd stop overhyping everything and just be like, "Okay,
Right.
guys, we've got a product. It's not quite finished, but bear with us." People would be a lot more tolerant than if they were like, "This is the greatest game that has ever existed.
Right,
Get
yeah,
ready for Anthem." And it's like,
dude, and the gameplay trailer they made is completely fake. You know, just completely fake. Fuck it, why not?
there's no integrity in the industry anymore. No integrity, I tell you.
Oh, dude, it's fucking ridiculous. Well, what they do is they release an MVP, which is a minimum viable product, and then they hype it, you know, like crazy, and
They
then they
hype it to
release.
be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, man. I mean, what Anthem, Fallout 76, Cyberpunk. I mean, even Battlefield 2042. What a shit show, dude.
Okay, Fallout 76, where people were getting robbed, like legit robbed of stuff they paid money for, never getting it back. Like, how are there not class actions over that? There
I
was
thought they
like,
tried that. I really do. I thought they tried that.
they
I might
might
look that
have,
up
but
real
I mean,
quick.
oh my
Yeah.
god, dude. I got robbed. Where? In Fallout 76. How much did they steal? Like $175 worth of shit?
Yeah, right here, class action lawsuit.
Of course.
Yeah. That was back in oh wow. According to Google, that was this year. Yeah.
That means that was this year that it made it into court.
Yeah.
It probably went on the dockets like 70 years ago, and people are finally being like, "Oh yeah, we have to do this."
Right. Yeah. Dude, like have you heard anything about all this NFT stuff going on? Like all these game companies keep announcing they're gonna do NFTs and all of this bullshit.
I'm still trying to understand what an NFT is. A non-fungible token? I don't.
Dude, to me, trying to put NFTs into video games is like it kind of feels like it's spelling doom for the game industry. You know what I mean? Like, dude, don't go down this road. Don't
not to
do
promote piracy, but when NFTs came out, I was on the side of like, why can't I just screenshot this and boom, I fucking own it? You know, like tons of people did that, and then these people were all like, "Oh, that's a copyrighted image. You can't do anything about that." And then what happens? It spreads around so much that it then enters public domain areas because it's been used by the public so much that it's no longer owned by a single person.
Right. Well,
it's under fair use all of a sudden because a million people have the picture. What is an
as
NFT?
far as I know, it's basically connecting Bitcoin or some kind of cryptocurrency to a picture.
This is a culture casino question.
Yeah, like I feel like he would be much more nuanced in the answer.
Yes,
he would. I mean, I could Google search it real quick, but it would probably take me a while to get a good response. To be honest.
Not only that, it would take a minute for us to understand it because this isn't our world. We don't try like
right.
What's a non-fungible token? I don't know. They say I can't screenshot this picture, but owned.
Right. I kind of dabbled into like some cryptocurrency on the stock market a little bit, and I actually made a little bit of money, but at the same time, it was like I still had no fucking idea what I was doing. You know what I mean?
Like, I feel like that sums up most of the people jumping into the crypto market these days. They do a little bit of research and they're like, "Oh, I can do this," and the next thing they know, they're all like, "I made like a few dollars off this thing," but
well, and it's like
how.
Peyton, he mines cryptocurrency with his computer, and apparently his computer is just always running, always mining this stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know how you'd set up your computer to do that. You know, I'm probably like pretty boomery when it comes to this stuff. So
yeah, you are pretty boomery when it comes to this stuff, but
yeah. But this thing I wanted to show you real quick is this fucking idiot right here. Now, teabagging
Yes.
is pantomime sexual abuse. End of conversation. No, that's not the end of conversation, buddy.
For those of
Like,
you who aren't aware of what teabagging is, who've been living under a rock, that's when you come up with somebody after you've killed them in a video game and you push the crouch button a bunch.
yeah,
And
mostly in
you put
Halo.
your imaginary balls into their mouth over and over and over again. And apparently that's sexual abuse.
We how do we know each other?
Yeah, yeah, Lasso.
He is my younger brother.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, I'm using my fame and my notoriety to help my brother, you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was invented in Halo. It might have
Yeah,
been
2.
yeah, Halo 2. Yep, that sounds
Yep.
about right. And to compare that to sexual abuse is like, dude, you have to be really sensitive or
This-
you're trying to hide something. That's,
He's well, nah, see, my big thing there is like this is a virtue signal. This is an individual who worked on the games and he's coming out and saying this as a virtue signal because their games are responsible for the phenomenal teabagging that I still enjoy doing to people when I rarely play online, and I will
right.
never, ever, ever stop because as long as they have a crouch function,
Yeah,
getting
right, dude,
bagged.
exactly. Dude, so I played recently I started playing the Serious Sam collection. It is a trash game. It's such just a
Really,
dumb fucking game.
I
But
never paid attention to it.
dude, you could teabag so fast in that game. Like you know how
Yeah,
fast I could tap the damn button on a controller. So I was fighting my youngest son. I was fighting, your nephew.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like screens like you can't even see what's on the screen because I'm teabagging it so fast. Stop that, Dad.
Oh
Like,
my gosh. And see, another thing this is trying to do is ruin things that are actually a part of gamer culture.
right? Yeah, and
Because this is something that we do as celebration as a joke. It's if it gets under your skin, grow thicker skin. Because this is a part of online multiplayer gamer culture, especially in first person
yeah,
shooters.
dude, and I hear Jeremy from G&G mention this a lot. Those Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. If you couldn't handle that, you shouldn't be on the internet. Like
Right?
you just shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Bunch of 12-year-olds being like, I fucked your mom.
Yeah, fuck your mom. It's like nice, dude. Hopefully you showed her a good time, I guess.
See, this is
Fuck.
like
Oh my god.
100%
That's just
lasso. Face
yeah.
palm to the max.
Dude, dude, gaming is just where the fuck are we in the gaming space, dude? Like,
Where are we? We're where no man should have ever gone.
right?
I mean, this is not only uncharted territory, it was literally the Forbidden Lands for a reason. It's like
Yeah. Well, I
you're
mean,
gonna tell the most toxic fan bases in the world that are gamers. I'm sorry, but gaming is the
yeah,
most
yeah,
toxic fan base you can find for all ages. And they're trying to take something as minuscule as teabagging out of the freaking most toxic
right.
environment
Well,
that exists. Well, screw you guys. You shouldn't have made it competitive.
exactly. Well, dude, you know me, dude. I'm a huge Souls fan. I love everything Soulsborne,
Yes.
and
Yes, you do.
that's a extremely toxic community. But at the same time, we all it's like memeing each other at this point. Like Dia's too bad, that kind of shit. Like, I mean, dude, I love the memes on the internet where it's like, do you know what sex is great and all, but do you know what it's like to have 99 insight? And it's this dude that's covered in fucking eyeballs.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's Bloodborne, man. I mean,
So the higher insight you have, the more eyeballs you get?
no, kind of. I guess, that's kind of oversimplifying it. Insight is a mechanic in Bloodborne that, like, the more you have of it, the more you see what's going on in the
So
world of Bloodborne. So like
it helps
enemies
with
will
like
change. The game actually becomes a little more difficult.
okay,
Like
so
and
it's kind of like an instinct mode, but
yeah, so
advanced mode.
like you fight these giant pigs in the game, and the more insight you have, the more eyeballs they have on their head,
Oh my,
and the more like damage they do. And yeah, it's kind of a crazy mechanic.
that is
Bloodborne's really
pretty
the only
crazy.
one that has it in the Soulsborne games, right? Yeah, I love those memes too. Those memes are
Absolutely.
great. And it, I
Did you
mean,
even praise, bro?
right? Like praise the damn sun, dude. Like
So many people don't understand the Soulsborne references, and like especially the Dark Souls references, where I'm all like, so smooth, so shiny,
right?
like
Yeah.
so shiny, so smooth.
Well, like so back to the gaming achievement thing, I actually beat Lawrence the first Vicar in the Bloodborne DLC for the first time yesterday.
Nice.
That was pretty sick. It was pretty badass.
Hell yeah. I don't have any gaming achievements this year. I can tell you some of my best gaming mishaps.
Yeah, well, I want to hear that.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, let's see. I haven't won actually won a round of Gang Beasts in probably 3 months now, I
Jeez, dude.
think.
Well, I mean, I never
Um,
win when I'm over there.
yeah, my son's fault.
Dude,
Jeez.
he's good at that game, dude.
He's good at fighting games in general, but he's not at Mortal
Oh,
Kombat.
so speaking of fighting games, my youngest son asked me to play Soul Calibur last night.
Oh, I feel sorry for him.
He was really angry.
Weren't you going to competitions for that?
Yeah, for Soul Calibur 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being your punching bag and stuff. Like, no one will play that game with me in my household, and I won't play that game with you anymore.
No, it's
I'm
hard
like,
for me to find people to play that game with me.
this sucks.
Well, I mean, and like, dude, it got to a point where okay, so we started out playing normally, right? Each having 100
Yep.
health, like normal damage, all that stuff, and then it finally got to a point where I was fighting him. He had infinite health, and I had 50% max health.
And you're still dominating, weren't you?
Then when it got to that point, finally, he did beat me because I mean he's infinite health, and I'm at 50% health. So
You weren't relying on your ring out tactics?
I was trying, dude, but he's one of those button spammers where he does like the same long range
Ah,
move over and over
yeah.
and over again.
That's
So I
why I
had
love
to
Siegfried,
right.
that
Well, I had to
multi-directional
dust off
dodge.
the old what are those called? Guard impact
Oh,
skills.
yeah. Mm.
Like
Which one were you playing?
2. That's the
2?
only one I
Nice.
have. Well, I have
Okay.
2 and 6. 3 is a PlayStation exclusive for PlayStation 2, and they haven't done anything backwards compatible for that yet.
Gotcha.
So I wish they would though. Like
Nice.
Sungmina's just a sexy beast. So he was like, oh, "You be your best character, and I'll be my best character." And he's cycling between like 8 different guys, and it's like, "What, dude? Which one of these is your best character?"
Right? It's like, have you found your best character yet there, dude?
I don't think he's played enough to find his best character
Well,
on it.
see, that's one of the things that I love about being a parent and a gamer is the fact that I'm not one of them that's going to let them win.
Right? Yeah.
I'm like,
No
if you're going
mercy.
to
It's
beat
like
me, you're going
Mario
to earn
Kart.
it. I'm going to treat you like every other 12-year-old I've fought in video games, and I'm just going to, like, bring it. You want to
Yeah.
talk big? Let's do it.
Dude, I mean, I expect both my kids to
Step up.
yes, just when we're competing in a video game, yeah, like no mercy, man.
That's why the kids like co-op games so much.
Right?
Honestly, Nick's all like, I don't want to fight against you. I'm like,
You know what? You know what? One I can't stand though, like Fortnite, dude. That game is just so. Like, ugh.
I could never, ever, ever get into that game. Like, I tried. I honestly even gave it the old college go, but it was like, nah. And then we got into Warzone, and that was super fun until they started this time warp stuff.
I haven't even bothered with the Pacific map yet.
I re-downloaded it. I haven't actually started it again.
Well, I mean, I guess I could re-download it. I finally fixed my external hard drive.
Yeah. See, it would literally take you and me just going on a trolling run for me to play that game.
Right? Yeah, dude. It's battle royales, man. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Like,
See,
ugh.
so have you heard about Rainbow Six Extraction, where it's the 4-player co-op game?
Isn't that the one with the zombies or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
I don't
thinking about
know.
checking that out with Game Pass.
Oh, it's going to be on Game Pass, then yeah, I might
Yeah,
check
like
it
day
out.
one release on Game Pass. So
I might check it out then. I started playing Final Fantasy X again.
oh, that's my favorite Final Fantasy
Yeah, it's a
game. Oh
good
my
game,
gosh, dude, the summons in that alone were the best of all the series.
dude.
I don't care
I
what
gotta be
anybody else
like,
says.
I know I'm not that far into the game. I'm only like 7 hours into it, but
Bahamut.
my summons feel exceptionally weak, and it's probably because I don't use Yuna all that much.
She boosts those guys. She's got
Yeah,
some good
well,
skills for the summons.
I use mostly Lulu, dude, for like
Yeah.
mage type. Like her black magic's just awesome.
The
I
only
love
reason
it.
Yuna ever stayed on my freaking team at all was because of the summons.
Well, she's also the healer too of the game.
Well, I never really worried about that. Once I knew how the game worked, I was like, yeah, I'm never dying.
Right? Dude, I remember what is that one that casts Ultima, the one with the bleeding eye?
Anima?
And Anima, yes, that was it. Yeah, Anima. So that's probably my favorite summon in a game. I
She's
love that
badass.
summon.
See, I love Bahamut.
Bahamut is a badass. Yojimbo was cool too.
Yojimbo was cool. Yeah, dude.
He's like, pay me money and I'll attack it for you.
Yeah, he drains your bank account though, dude. He's all
Right?
like, hey, man.
You want him to do
me
his
work for
ultimate?
you?
It's like, wasn't it like a million gil or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I loved the chocobos and like all the various things that came out of Final Fantasy. Like, do you remember that one with the crystals where like
Crystal Chronicles, yeah, they
Yeah.
actually have that one. They re-released it on PlayStation 4.
did they?
Yeah.
Nice. I loved that game.
Well, do you remember? Because it was on GameCube, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly, and
Yeah.
you had to have those Game Boy Advances or whatever
Yep.
to be able to play multiplayer.
Yeah.
Which I
It
never.
took us so long to be able to play even a round of multiplayer on that game.
Oh right,
Because
dude.
we were like, who the hell has a DS? Like or
Yeah,
whatever they are, the
was
Game Boy Advance. It's
yeah,
like,
the
who
one that
has it?
folds.
Do you know anybody that has that? And it's like, mine broke.
Right. Well, I think they did the same thing with a Legend of Zelda game too. That
Dude, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, where you could be Tingle too. Like one
Yeah.
of those games where you could be Tingle is on.
Well, it's also one of those games where you control your friends too.
Yeah, yeah. I
Which
love
are-
being a troll.
yeah,
I'm
I
still
know
not
you
allowed
do.
to play on Ubisoft servers.
Seriously, I figured.
Yeah, I haven't created a
believe
new
that.
account or anything, but I'm banned on my Talon 1600.
I have never gotten banned from a server before like that.
No, it's not just a server. It started on Watch Dogs, but I'm not allowed to play Ubisoft online unless I'm on a different account.
I mean, you could always start another account. And
I
keep
have
going.
plenty of other accounts I can use.
See, that's why I'm so surprised you don't play more Dark Souls PvP and stuff because
I don't
like-
mind trolling people on Dark Souls through invasions and stuff, but it's like,
well, dude, did you know the Dark Souls Remastered has a Souls duplication glitch?
yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, where you make it think you're dropping arrows, and however
Yeah.
many arrows you have, it cracks that many souls for you.
Yeah.
So,
Dude.
I mean, I've played and beaten the game legitimate many times, but
Oh,
now
yeah.
that I found that out, it's like I'm not playing the game
Well,
any other
see,
way, dude.
I don't like using exploits in a game unless I've beaten it one time.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for in
yeah.
Cyberpunk, of course. I loved that kiosk glitch that they nerfed out of it. But
Oh,
you know,
right. Got so much money so quick with doing that. And
yeah. It's hard to get money in that game. But anyway, we're not talking that trash.
what, Cyberpunk? Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's all
so-
good.
I will say one thing. Okay, before we leave the Cyberpunk, the voice acting in that game goes from like good with like Jackie and V to like absolute shit with like the newscaster that does the loading screen shit.
Oh, yeah, dude, that guy's
And-
fucking annoying.
Not just him, with like the first one where it's like, have you heard about Kujira, otherwise known as the whale, Arasaka, blah blah blah. Like that lady, like I have to listen to that. I had to listen to that for so long because I didn't move on in the main story for a minute, and I'm like,
Yeah, you did what I did. You hung out in the tutorial for like 10 hours.
yeah,
just
but
fucking around.
like I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, if I ever have an opportunity to meet this character in this game, I want to chop her head off with my and mantis arms. Like,
Oh, dude. Right, that'd be pretty cool, honestly.
And then, like, dude, they could have done dynamic loading screens. They could have reported on crime and all kinds of different shit, but they were lazy.
Right?
It's a big problem with the gaming industry these days is they're lazy as shit.
And another problem is they like to cut shit out and try to sell it back to you for more money. Like that's, I mean, that's
they're like, people are liking this. Let's nerf it and
most of this
put a price on
DLC
it.
and all this stuff, like the season passes are literally just all the stuff that they chopped out of the game to sell back to you at a premium price.
Right? They had their like primary group of testers running the game, and they're all like, "What are your favorite things?" They're like, "This, this, and this." And they're like, "Take that out of the game and make it and monetize it."
Right? Let's work on the cash shot now.
And it's like, well, that has some important features in it that actually are required to make the game run correctly. And they're like, screw it.
Dude, well, that's part of the reason why I'm so excited about Elden Ring, dude. Like, Elden Ring is going to be...
It's going to be a great game, dude, honestly. Like, and one of the things, as weird as this is, one of the things that's making me more interested in the game is the lack of hype that everyone is throwing at it. Everybody's just like eagerly anticipating this, and they're like, "We're not going to say anything about it."
Well, that's good. They're doing the opposite of what they did with Cyberpunk. You know,
yes,
the stuff they released has been actual stuff from the game that you know is completed.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that it's legitimately the exact opposite of Cyberpunk, where it's completely playable. It has everything that you want in the game and the genre type, and it provides you with a new experience that only Elden Ring can.
Right? Oh, it will too. Oh, dude. I have a huge problem with open world games. Like you know,
I absolutely love them. They're just they reach a point where it becomes monotonous.
Well, okay, yeah,
like
I feel
really
like
fast in some of them.
And have this more.
Well, not like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, exactly. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey is massive, dude.
They make the games too big.
Yeah, I put in like easily 100 hours into that game, and I had only uncovered about roughly 50% of the map.
Well, yeah, and like in like a survival-based game like Conan, having a map that large makes sense.
Right? Yeah.
But in some of these games, it's like it's too big for the setting that you're trying to put the game into.
Well, and I think maybe part of it doesn't even have to do with size of the game. Maybe part of it has to do with the monotony of the things they give you to do.
That and how empty it is.
Yeah, well,
there's so much blank space.
And everywhere you go, basically every quest they make you do in a game like that is essentially the same. Like it's just the same like 7 or 8 different subtype quests thrown around the map over and over and over again.
What's your least favorite quest type that you've encountered?
Like in any video game ever? Because immediately comes to mind is Assassin's Creed 2 and those fucking feathers, dude.
Dude, the collection quests to 100% the game.
Yeah, dude, those
are pretty bad.
Are awful, man. Like
I hate multi-stage fetch quests like the Big Goron sword in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, dude. I think
those are so dumb.
Well,
Give me this.
It's not for lack of fast travel. You could fast travel in the game. It's just with that Big Goron sword quest, like you had so many items where they're like, "Hey, you go over here and get this special water from this guy at Lake
that
Hylia.
Expires in 3 minutes."
Yeah, in 3 minutes, and you got to get it all the way back up to the top of Death Mountain. Like I think every time I did that, it was like I had 5 seconds left on the damn clock. Like it was exhilarating, but I don't know where I'm going with that.
I could never complete that quest. I always had to have somebody else do it for me.
Yeah, me.
Either you or my wife. Yeah. Yep. She's good at that game too, but I could never do it. I'm like,
dude, what game was
3, 2, 1?
What was the last game you 100%ed? Like legit 100%.
Oh geez, legit 100%ed. For the first time or over again? Because the last one that I did was Mario.
The last one.
Super Mario. Super Mario Bros. Deluxe.
Okay.
The Switch. Me and we've 100%ed that game like 4 times now.
Nice.
And I want to go back and 100% Breath of the Wild, but
see, that's the
those
ones
Korok seeds,
I could never get into, man.
999 of those Korok seeds. There are like 9,999 of them. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
like,
insane, dude. That is absolutely insane.
and there's only so far you can upgrade your shit. You're like, oh yeah, I'm maxed out on storage space on my backpack. I'm maxed out on my storage space in this and blah blah blah. And I still have like 1,000 Korok seeds. It's like, oh, I guess I'll just like spend them all on stupid shit.
That's crazy, dude. See, I didn't know there was that many of those in that game. Like,
It's ridiculous. They overdid it a lot.
I made it to the Gerudo Temple. I think was the furthest I've made
That was
it.
a pain in the ass having to like figure out how to be a cross dresser and like.
Well, I made it into the village. Like I got, I made it into the village, and I think that's where I was like, all right, you know what, I'm pretty much.
So you didn't stomp the camel?
No.
No.
No, I did not.
That was a good boss fight. The Phantom.
I think I did the elephant and
fun fight.
Well, like a lizard or something.
Yeah, there was a lizard, elephant, a camel, and it was a lizard,
elephant, camel, elephant,
camel.
I don't remember. A bird? Wasn't it a bird?
It was a bird. Like yeah, because you had to get the Ritu, whatever the flight ability thing.
Maybe it was the elephant and the bird that I got.
The bird was a pretty awesome bird boss fight too. Like that Ganon Phantom. Like, yeah. But excuse me, goodness. The last game that I loved 100%ing though was Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs? Yeah, the last one what is that new shark game they came out with in the last couple of years? Maneater?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Maneater, where you can mutate the shark.
It's just like an open world, but like it was a lot smaller, more contained. You know what I mean?
And it gave you a lot of things to do.
It did too. And even though, yes, it kind of did the same thing where it peppers the same objectives throughout the entire game. Like, I think the fact that it was smaller and more contained made it a lot easier to kind of stomach that kind of gameplay, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'm worried. That's what I'm worried about with Elden Ring is like, it's going to be so massive and there's going to be so many just little bullshit things to do that I don't want to do, you know?
I'm not actually super worried about that because the guys over there that make these games, I can't remember the studio's name. From Software. But yeah, From Software knows how to do it. And they know how to fill it with enough stuff to keep you interested. They learned their lessons after Dark Souls 1, where you had to keep running around without any idea of what's going on.
Well, yeah.
Or where to go.
In games like Bloodborne and Sekiro, if you look into it, Miyazaki even states that they're more of a experimentation to know what they want to do next with. Because Hidetaka Miyazaki is obsessed with Western, like, fairy tales and like King Arthur and Knights of the Round Table, things like that. And so like the games that he does like Bloodborne or Sekiro, which is a really hard but amazing game, those are like experimenting like on the jumping and the swimming and the grapple hook or the transforming weapons in Bloodborne. It's more of an experimentation.
Yeah.
It's like so they could try to add something more to Dark Souls, and that's, you know.
See, okay, one of my favorite things about Dark Souls as a series is the fact that they don't force me to learn the lore. Like, you know the lore. I don't know shit. I'm like, I'm going in there and I'm killing shit. I'm leveling up. There's another boss to kill. I'm going over here. Like, I'm going to ring this bell. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to fall in this jackass's hole like 40 billion times. And
the old Iron King's hole.
Dude, I hate that old Demon King mother. Dude. That hole was the hardest boss in any game I've ever fought. Like, I died to that hole like what, 30 times?
Yeah, dude.
Like,
well, I mean,
so bad.
The replayability of those games is just so phenomenal.
So high.
And when it comes to the lore, dude, you really have to like dig in. It's one of those games where you have to dig in and you have to
read item descriptions and you have to do all this stuff that I'm never going to do.
What I do and watch Lore Master Vati
More
videos.
stuff I'm never gonna do.
Dude, for Dark Souls lore, Vidya is the best. There's no one better. Period. Like,
I remember you talking about that.
oh man, like he just pulls you into the stories of this world.
He's one of those really. He was that badass narrator, right?
Mm-hmm.
It had that like real crimson, like British voice.
Yeah, dude. It makes women swoon. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I like his voice. I wish I could emulate that. Like,
right.
I'd give Jack some of that pepper. I'd be like, hey, spice it up, baby.
No, man. Well, they released an Esquire article about Elden Ring and some interview with Hidetaka Miyazaki, and Vati Vidya actually got interviewed in that. And I'm like, dude, that's really cool. Like, that's good for him. Like, he's doing such a good job with all of it. You know, I love watching his stuff.
Hell yeah. That's good. It's good to have content that you enjoy.
Right. Well, I mean, I never miss a Friday Night Tights.
Hell yeah.
Being honest, I never miss it. Like,
I miss it quite often because I'm usually playing video games with the family. So
yeah, I could see that. Well, I don't normally put it on until, you know, the family's doing other things.
Right.
Like going to bed.
Yeah. Well, usually I watch like an hour or so of it because like I can't watch the whole like 17 hours that they go for. It's crazy. You know me. I turn into a pickle after about 2 hours on.
Are you talking about EFAP or?
Nah. It's like I know I'm exaggerating. You know me. I exaggerate a lot.
Like, dude, I've seen them do crazy long streams.
Well, yes, a lot of those guys do crazy long streams. I've seen some of them do like 8 to 12-hour streams without taking a break, and they're just like killing it. And I'm like, how do you do that? I'm on Yelling at Parked Cars, and I'm like, oh, it's too high octane for me.
What, streaming for that long? Come on.
See, I can't go for longer than 2 hours, bro. You know me.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I got other things I got to do. I got to stand up. My back is killing me. I'm going to like, and then that late at night, I'm like, I have had so much Marley flour.
Right. At a certain point, you got to like, taking the 420.
You know, and like, yeah.
Dude, I had to smoke a little bit before the stream, dude.
Well, yeah, the nerves will get to you. The nerves will get to you.
It wasn't even that, dude.
And we are not promoting recreational drug use.
No, not at all. With the shit that I caught, you know,
yeah.
Every time I go to eat something, it's like I had to go out and smoke, dude.
Word. I feel that. I do. I remember that. See
what?
I wish we could talk about that. That's fun.
Right?
I'm just saying, YouTube, loosen your policies. Nobody cares anymore. Anyway.
Right.
But, you know, like, I can't do more than 2 hours on a live stream. Like, I can't.
Well, like, so when I watch, like, Friday Night Tights, because Gary's my favorite YouTuber. Absolutely, hands
He's a lot of people's favorite YouTubers.
Dude.
YouTuber.
Well, when I first started watching him, he kind of reminded me of Dad. The big beard, the glasses and stuff. Like what Dad would have been if his dad would have stuck with being a geek, you know?
Yeah, dude. Meeting Nerdrotic was great. I mean, other than the fact that he was really racked with nerves in Vegas because it was
I'm sure it was, dude.
But yeah, I mean, he was a really chill guy. Like he's a lot like this is gonna sound bad, but I imagined him a lot fatter than he actually is. Like I thought, you know, I thought he'd have a dad bod, but he's like skinny like I am almost. Like not
really?
quite,
I figured he was
not quite
buff.
like I couldn't really tell he was wearing like a bowling shirt, and it was a cool shirt, but like he looked skinny, like super skinny, like me, but not quite like, you know, haven't eaten in 17 years kind of skinny.
Well, I mean, you've always looked like you're basically bones. So
yeah, I know. This is true.
But yeah, I mean, dude, normally what I'll do is I'll put on like Friday Night Tights and I'll, you know,
have it in the background while you play some video games.
Yeah, playing Final Fantasy or, you know, just bullshitting. Like, I'll lay in bed, watch Friday Night Tights, maybe put on. Oh, dude, have you ever seen a show? Sorry, I'm getting off track here, but have you ever seen a show called Altered Carbon?
I've heard of it. I don't know if I've ever watched it.
It is, the first season is fucking incredible. Like,
what is it exactly?
It's set like 250 years in the future, maybe even further than that. And like people can, you get their personality, your mind basically gets put on this little disc, and you can be anybody, anywhere, at any time. And it's really cool. The Suicide Squad movie, the guy that played the military guy, can't think of his name.
Yeah, you're talking about the guy that worked for Waller, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he's the main character of Altered Carbon, and
Oh,
dude, it's got all
is it
the
live action or
yeah, mhm.
okay?
It's got
Okay.
all the sex and violence and just all the good stuff, dude. The story is amazing. I just made it. I don't want to It's on Netflix. Do you have Netflix? I'm not sure if you even have Netflix. Like,
Nah, dude, I haven't watched a single thing on Netflix since they put cuties out, man.
uh, it, dude. So I got some gift cards for Christmas, and so I just used that to pay for a month of Netflix. And I've watched. Okay, and this is my problem with Netflix. I've watched everything good that they have, and it's been less than a month, and now I have no reason to continue watching Netflix. Uh,
Yeah, I'll do the free trials to those streaming services every
they
once
wouldn't
in a
give me
while,
a
like
free
with
trial because
Peacock and stuff. But yeah, but there's ways to give free trials if
yeah,
you
oh,
know
I
what I
know,
mean.
yeah,
Yar.
definitely. But I mean, and then like Stranger Things, my God, what the fuck happened to that show? Jesus Christ! Like, I watched the first two seasons. They're fucking good, and
I never watched any of that.
the third season was a lot of what, like, Gary and Ryan and all those guys talk about, where it was just a bunch of sitting around talking about our feelings.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
that sounds like
instead
some
of,
primetime television.
it was so hard to get through that third season, dude. Like,
You
jeez, it was
know
so
what?
hard.
You know what's not hard to get through? Spartacus.
Oh, I
You know
know
what?
that show is
You know what's
so wonderful,
you know what's not hard to get through? Anything made pre 2010.
right, dude?
I mean, a
And
lot
that's
of the things that they have these days, they start out fantastic and they're just great, and then it's just like, I mean, to bring up an obvious example, look at what they did to like
yes,
Green
it
Arrow
did.
on the CW. Like it started out strong and it was good,
Oh, you said
and then
Arrow?
yeah, the Arrow show, yeah, Green Arrows,
Hmm.
like dude, it
Stephen
started out
Amell, right?
yeah, it started out so good, and then it was like, guess what? Here comes the message, and it was like,
Ugh,
okay,
the
okay,
fuck,
I'm not watching this anymore. Eat a dick. Like
right?
season 2 of The Flash, it was like, okay, well, I don't care about what kind of butt stuff you guys like to do. I'm gonna move on. And then I stopped watching. It's like they do that with all the shows these days. They take something good and then they ruin it because they just gotta inject their gender fluid in there with this hypodermic needle of retard and
Right.
just
This
like
hypodermic needle of retard. Uh, well, and that's why I keep coming back to that show, Drawn Together, dude. Like, the
boom.
world desperately needs another
That was
show
so
like
good.
that.
Captain
Yes,
Hero
it
was my
was
favorite.
super offensive. It was
Oh my
super
gosh.
racist. It was super sexist.
Dude,
Like,
how many times did they get hit with copyright
by Disney
lawsuits?
specifically, like
Yeah, like
at least 4 times.
yeah, and
Like,
like they ripped off everybody's everything,
they
dude.
did
It
too.
was great. Captain
Like,
Hero was the best. The same voice actor did Wacko in Animaniacs.
really?
Yeah.
Captain Hero?
Yeah, Captain Hero. Yeah. If I needed something to slow me down, I would take another Oxy.
Right? Dude, that
God.
was one of those, we can't even show a clip of that show.
Nope.
Like, because it's so
Nope. Waldor
ridiculous.
Sockbat. Like
Oh, yeah,
he
the
was my favorite
wacky
iteration.
whatchamacallit.
Yeah, he was my favorite iteration of SpongeBob SquarePants that ever existed because
Oh,
at least he
right.
was openly like freak.
That Clum Babies episode was so
Oh,
ridiculous, dude.
oh my gosh. Can we even talk about that?
I don't even
Like,
know.
oh my
Uh,
gosh, dude. And then there was
Foxy Love, dude.
dude, yeah, Foxy. Now all we need is a black girl and a buttload of booze.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey. Oh my gosh. Them ain't yo Funyuns, them Foxy's Funyuns. Mm-hmm. Like, oh
When
my
she
gosh.
masturbates with the lightsaber, dude.
Oh, dude, right? Like that show had so much jacked up stuff in it that,
Dude, go Captain Hero being a necrophiliac.
dude, right? Dude, he did. He's so funny. The steroid episode and
Oh,
like
right where he's with
like
Popeye.
what was that
Catches
girl?
AIDS.
Yeah, and like Homer Simpson's passed out in the background and
Dude, and
stuff,
Bart
and like
Simpson's dead in the attic. Like I love little
yeah,
things like that in that show.
or his super girlfriend episode where she's like, "We'll get married."
Oh yeah, the stretch girl. Yeah,
Yeah, like the end of it where he's all like, "We bury her today as a Mormon, not because she was one, but because it would have made her happy to bury one." And then was it Adam Carolla, Spanky Ham?
Yeah.
And then like
I'm trying to think.
Xander.
Clara, the
Xander.
Disney princess spoof.
Yeah, the Disney princess one was
tentacle
ridiculous. And yeah,
vagina.
the snatch that would snatch you. Yeah. And then dude, I absolutely loved the gay link that they like Xander. Like
dude.
I'm on a never-ending quest to save my boyfriend.
Dude, like I love how when he does the whistle thing and he goes blasting through the trailer park with the because do you remember the wind whistle thing from I think it was the first Zelda game, the very, very first one. Then they just copy that and then like he busts through the trailer park
like,
and then they
like
cut
a tornado
clip. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Or his suicide episode where he decided he was going to kill himself, but he had 99 lives.
Yeah, it's the whole
so he was
episode
just like at the end he's just all like
he's like, ow,
I'm just gonna keep goodbye cruel world, and then when he gets down to his last life they're all like, stop,
don't do it,
it's not the answer.
That's like they spent the whole episode fucking off.
Yeah, they're like, we don't care, whatever, just kill yourself, we don't give a shit. And then like last life they're all like, please stop,
dude.
And it's really because they all wanted to get some sleep.
The suicide hotline episode where they had like Donald Trump as like the speaker head guy.
The Jew producer.
Yep.
Dude. Oh my gosh. Every time he'd fire somebody, he'd splooge.
Dude.
Like
the funniest thing about that is they make fun of literally everybody. They don't leave any religion untouched. They did an
episode untouched. They did an episode on who might be their target audience with that one very diverse individual.
Yeah, that lesbian born again Christian that's like, yeah, dude. He's like, maybe you're not our target audience. Like
the Poo Pizza episode, dude, that show had so many good episodes. Like,
it really
so
did.
much
it did
funny
have
crap
shit
in it.
Ones, though. Like,
yeah,
it did have
every show has shit episodes.
That's true.
Except for Thinking Out Loud on SirTalksAlot Tuesday through Fridays.
Nice.
Anyway.
Dude, like they have a lot of Adam Sandler movies on Netflix, dude.
Man,
and I forgot how good old Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah, the old Adam Sandler stuff was fantastic.
The Waterboy, dude, The Longest Yard. That was
retarded humor movie. For the sake of retarded humor,
dude. And
there was no purpose to it.
Like I watched this one the other day called The Do-Over with David Spade and Adam Sandler, and that one was actually pretty good, except for Breaking Bad. I actually have never seen Breaking Bad. What? You never seen that?
Nope, never seen it either. That was my boomer moment. I was muted. Yeah.
Oh, nice. There you go. Yeah, I've never actually watched that show.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Never really piqued my interest. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, and I it's a show that I would clearly enjoy because I enjoyed Justified and I enjoyed like other similar shows, Sons of Anarchy.
Dude, yeah, I was just about to say Sons of Anarchy.
Like those kinds of shows are some of my favorite shows of all time, but I don't like Breaking Bad is one that I will check out eventually. I just haven't got around to it yet, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm about halfway through the first season of Spartacus again. It's what is his name? Andy Whitfield.
Yeah, dude, he was so good.
Yeah, it's such a good actor.
Leukemia.
Right. Fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer. 100% fuck cancer. But yeah, dude, like all those shows were just like, and they pushed the envelope on a lot of things. Like Breaking Bad, for instance, I never saw it, but I remember the fact that it was pushing the envelope on like what it might actually be to be,
storytelling
like
and
a
like
drug dealer or a drug manufacturer, or like, you know, extreme circumstances that push people to do things
well,
that
I
like
guess the show starts out with him like being diagnosed with cancer or something,
hmm
and he's a chemistry teacher or something, so he
Yep.
decides to cook meth.
Yeah, because then I don't know the exact backstory to it, but I think like he loses his job or some shit like that, and he can't pay for stuff. So
Yeah.
then he's all like, "Let's just do this because I'm dying and I need to fix it, or you know, I need to leave something for somebody or whatever." But it's like it's a good twist on like instead of it being like this is a drug dealer, this is a gangster show, you know, blah blah blah. It's a guy that develops into, you
Well,
know,
and like I loved the
a
fact
giant.
like Sons of Anarchy was
Yep.
a like
hmm
a biker gang take on Hamlet.
Hamlet. Yeah, it was so good.
It
Like the
was, dude.
music that they had in that was some of the best soundtrack that he ever
Question
did.
for you, real quick: have you
Mm.
ever seen anything since Sons of Anarchy that has Charlie Hunnam in it, where he's actually good? Like, because I don't think I
Well,
have.
this is my hot take on that. I enjoyed Pacific Rim.
I thought it was all right. Yeah.
I liked that movie. I loved that movie. I won't lie. That's a yeah. I loved that movie. It's so good.
It
Pacific Rim,
is.
like
The second
freaking
one was
Gundam versus
crap.
Godzilla. Like, yeah, well, it's just another example of, you know, numbered sequels don't have to happen.
Yeah, that's very
Like
true. You can
sequels
leave
in
to
general don't
one.
have to
They're
happen. You can
one-offs.
do it. Yeah, one-offs used to be great. It was so good.
Dude, I have a hard time going back and watching things like Star Trek and things like that, because it's just and you hear about like the new Amazon Lord of the Rings show. I know Gary's like really worried about it, and I probably won't even watch it because it's just
I can't wait to hear about the paraplegic black elf that's like in love with her father or whatever. That's
dude,
going to be
right? No, it
great.
can't be her father because it's a male figure.
And her mom. Sorry, I forgot the narrative for a
Yeah,
moment.
right. You can't forget the message, dude. Like, come on. But that goes back to why we need shows like Drawn Together again, like South Park used to be. Shows like that where it
Dude,
pushes the boundaries.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it. Very
Yeah,
nice.
me and one of my buddies, you know, my big bear ginger man, we're working on some shit, dude. It's going to bring back that kind of humor.
Hell yeah, dude. We need more of that. We need more
Yeah.
of that kind of crass,
We need a
in your face
storyboard artist.
humor.
Just saying.
The fact that I went to art school.
Well, you know, it would help a little bit to have somebody who knew what they were doing. Just saying.
Maybe.
You know.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I'd be down
Yeah.
to be part of something. That'd be fun. Oh yeah.
You know the show that I'm talking about. I think you were there when we were talking about it originally, but I can't talk about it here. I want to. I feel like Tom Holland with self-control.
So Tom Holland with self-control.
Yeah. I want to talk about it, but I know better.
Doesn't he spill the beans on like
On everything?
Yeah.
He doesn't get the script until he walks on set. Day of filming, he's all like, and that shows you how good of an actor he is, honestly, because if he's not allowed to see this script and practice it,
some of the best scenes
like,
in cinema history have been completely impromptu, off script.
Yep.
Like, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the Indiana Jones shooting the swordsman thing.
Right? Yeah, that wasn't he. It's because he was feeling sick that day.
Yeah, he had got a stomach bug and he had the shits, and he was all like, I don't feel good. And they're all like, and this when they originally shot that scene, the actor that got shot took like 4.5 minutes to die, because that was how long the scene was supposed to take for the sword fight. It was about 4.5 minutes or so. And so the guy got shot, and then he took 4 minutes to die on screen. And so then they had to do a retake where they shot him and he fell over, and that was that. But like they still had to do multiple takes because Harrison Ford wasn't feeling good, and he's like, I'm not sword fighting, okay?
I'm not doing it.
It's like it's like I don't even know what to do in this. It just lets me shoot
choreography and crab it up your ass.
He's all like, yeah, you worked for 7 months on this fight? Great.
Yeah, but you know what, dude? That's what makes him such a badass.
Dude,
Harrison Ford, dude. Like,
there, as far as I'm aware, there's 2 actors in this entire world you can't direct, and it's Harrison Ford and Bruce Willis.
Hell yeah.
You tell them what to do, and they're like, excuse me? Do you have any idea what I do for a living?
Right, dude, you know who's a good actor, but who is also fucking batshit? Tom Cruise.
Dude, he's actually not as batshit as people make him out to be. He's actually
You
pretty
think so?
level-headed. Yeah. He once he actually broke away from the Scientology thing, he
Oh, did he
actually turned
finally break
around a
away
little
from
bit.
that shit?
Yeah, he broke away from it for a while, and a lot of people got really pissed off.
You mean the
And like,
Richies that are part of the
well,
cult?
yeah, the cult got really mad that their highest earning member is like no longer a believer. Go
Oh
shocker.
no!
But it's like he's not that bad anymore. I don't know what his like ideological views are, but like as far as he's very level-headed now. He's very like down to earth. He's very business focused
Well,
too.
and
Like back when the scamdemic broke out, he had an
scam. Did you
incident.
say it's a scam?
Yes, I did.
I
Back
like
when it
that.
broke out,
Oh, yeah.
it like there was an incident on one of the sets for the Mission Impossible movie that was being filmed at the time where a couple of the crew members had forgot their masks. And then this was an
Oh, I think
incident
I
where,
saw that actually, where
yeah,
he was like
like
yelling
they
at him
can
and
get,
stuff. Yeah.
they could get the entire place shut down because they're not wearing their masks. And he's all like, you listen to me. People believe in what we're fucking doing. So if I ever see you fucking up like this again, you're gone. Do you understand me? Like, that's almost verbatim what he said to them.
Oh, I think I remember exactly that. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how he said that and what he said while he's in the thralls of emotional anger tells me that he's actually passionate about the industry, because he didn't say anything about getting people sick. He didn't say anything about like, the safety regulations and blah, blah, blah. He said
jobs.
people believe in what we're doing and we're not going to risk it all because of you.
Mhm.
That spoke to me because I'm an entertainer who believes in escapism and entertainment and telling a story. Like it's the greatest thing that you can do as an entertainer, and letting somebody rob you of that because of some bullshit regulation is not okay.
Right. Well, and I really am glad I've never met any of these actors in real life. Like,
I'm still looking forward to meeting Lou Diamond Phillips one day. I don't care.
Well, like a good example I feel like is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
He's like my favorite 80s
Screw your
action
liberties.
Star. Yeah, dude. No. Fuck you, you Austrian bitch.
I am the Terminator. I'm going to terminate your freedoms with my speech.
Right, dude.
Which wouldn't be allowed without free speech, which is a freedom.
Arnold Schwarzenegger movies back in the day, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, Commando, one of my all-time favorite movies. It's a short, sweet, awesome action flick. It's to the point. But now it's like everything's got to be like these people got to put out their opinions like that, and it's like, dude, nobody. That's why I like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is an actor. He's not out here preaching.
Yeah, not anymore.
Like he's not out here telling me that I need to, jab my kids and do all this crazy shit.
Well, and it okay, let's touch on the hypocrisy of these people for a moment. Like just real quick, like Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, he is the champion for the environmental movement, right?
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah,
he has an 80-foot yacht which burns 300 gallons of diesel fuel per hour.
Well, that's because we know that's not what this is about, dude.
He practically lives on it, and people still eat up his environmentalist bullshit all the time.
Dude. Well, and that's like, one of the biggest carbon emission countries on the planet is China, and everybody, like all these people that climate change, they're all for China, and it's still just like
the two biggest polluters in the world are the two people that nobody ever talks about, and it's China and India. Yeah, and it's because we don't want to wreck the world economy by going after China, and because that, and then like, who would make our products? You mean we would have to manufacture things in America?
Oh no, American
so bad. Oh my goodness. And then, with India, I still don't understand why we're not jumping all over that shit. That's one of the most disgusting places in the world. And some of the people there are amazing, but I've heard so much violence coming out of India recently that it's like, what?
Yeah, dude.
Like, what are you guys doing?
Dude, what is most of the world fucking doing at this point?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on? It's like 2012 happened, and it wasn't like, the end of the world. We just like shifted into some weird fucking dimension or something.
Well, to use another like buzzword phrase that everybody's afraid of right now that you're not supposed to say on YouTube.
Lasso. Yes, we did
indeed. Yes. It's mass formation. I won't finish it, but it's mass formation. Look it up.
Oh yeah, no, I've been hearing a lot about that. There was that doctor that got banned off of Twitter or whatever.
I've been noticing it for years as a psychologist, and like I've never known what to actually call it. And then this guy comes out with such a good like terminology.
I
They
think
might
you
have
might have been
been.
right.
They
I think
might have
that's
been.
correct.
We
Last time.
like what they were predicting wasn't just a catastrophic end to the world. It was like a slip into an alternate dimension where nothing makes sense, and everybody's like, "What's the news say to do?"
Yeah, dude, Idiocracy. That
It
have
has
you ever
what
seen that?
plants need.
Dude, it wasn't supposed to become a documentary. God damn
Right,
it!
right, dude. The same thing can be said for A Brave New World, a book written in the 1930s about exactly what's going on right now. It even predicted the gender confusion stuff that's going on.
Really?
Yeah. Um, as much as people hate her, Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, 1984, of course.
Yeah.
We're seeing things come true from like Demolition Man.
Yeah,
We're
right.
seeing stuff come true from
Can you imagine if there's a fast food war, dude?
Yeah, the franchise wars. I absolutely believe that's coming. I mean, you know, it won't be Taco Bell; it'll be Chick-fil-A for some reason.
Right.
But, you know, it's like,
dude. My hot take on that one is I do not like Chick-fil-A.
dude, I hate Chick-fil-A. It's so dry. It's like
they give you a fucking pickle.
right.
Here's a pickle.
Pickle.
Now give me $12.
Right. Have some dried chicken and a pickle, and know that you donated to a good cause.
Right.
And what is that? Oh, a Mormon getting rich. Okay.
Oh, dude. Because I live in a small town, right? And we finally got that Dairy Queen.
Oh my gosh, that was a big deal for you.
Yeah, it was
that.
too.
They're like, oh my gosh, something besides Sonic and Taco Bell.
Yeah. Well, it's surprising enough that we're, you know, I live in such a small town and we have like 3 or 4 fast food restaurants.
Not a
like,
single one of them was a McDonald's or a Burger King.
Right. They just broke ground on the McDonald's, actually.
Well, there you go.
Well, did you hear about that? I'll have to maybe look it up.
Soon you're going to get yourself a nice actual Starbucks building.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get hipsters.
The thing with being a small town guy is I like my small town to stay a small town.
Too bad.
Right?
Too bad.
It's too fucking bad for me.
Progress.
Yeah.
Driving it home to the elbow.
Well, and that's like when I go, you know, when I talk to my best childhood friend, you know, he still lives in Kremling.
Yeah, he lives up in that BFE, man.
And they're still, dude, they have one gas station still.
Yeah.
Like you have to drive 45 minutes to go buy groceries. Like,
yeah, last time I was up there, they had that new grocery store gas station or whatever that they put in up there, and it was like it looked like it was already getting ready to be condemned.
Yeah, dude, well, because their prices were insane. I mean, it is.
Well, yeah.
I mean, geolocation and stuff like that has a lot to do with some, you know, prices and things like that.
They could easily make themselves a themed town. They're close enough to Steamboat. They're close enough to all these other places that people can get to through Kremling. But
Granby, I mean,
yeah, they could go see the library that was torn down by the bulldozer guy.
Right, dude. Oh man, I remember hearing about that when we were in school, dude.
Like, I'm all like, really, Granby? Like, yeah, it's like right there.
you would never think something like that would happen in Granby, but I mean,
right? And I was all like,
I'm not promoting anything by saying this, but you push people hard enough, and they're gonna fucking break.
Yes, this is true. But ladies and gentlemen, it's a waste of money to fortify a bulldozer.
Yeah, right. Unless it's a zombie apocalypse.
Well, especially if you're not going to reinforce the hydraulic lines. Let's be real.
Right.
Anyway, that's enough psychotics from there.
I think we're gonna wrap this up here.
You should do the Germ 404 intro thing as an outro too.
As an outro too?
Yeah, why not?
All right, cool. Let me
works as both.
Works as
anyway.
Both. All right. Well, thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you all later on the next one whenever we decide.